Hey guys, I'm Nisa Homey. Today I'm sharing naturally fermented brown rice dosa recipe. This brown rice dosa is soft and spongy and is made from hand pound unpolished raw rice. Since the rice is unpolished, it has more fiber and helps to keep you feel fuller for a longer time and thus ideal to include in your weight loss journey. So let's get started with the recipe. To make brown rice dosa, I'm using hand pound unpolished raw rice. This is organic unpolished hand pound rice. Into a bowl, I'm adding in 1 cup of unpolished organic hand pound brown rice. Into this, I'm adding in 1/3 cup urad dal, 1 tablespoon fenugreek seeds, also known as methi seeds, and I'm adding in some water, and I'm washing and rinsing it a couple of times. Once rinsed, I'm adding in some water and I'm going to allow it to soak for about 3 to 4 hours. Hand pound organic brown rice is a whole grain. Brown rice is less processed than white rice, mostly hand pounded or processed such that its hull alone is removed, keeping the bran and germ intact, which results in the brown rice retaining the nutrients that polished rice lacks, such as vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Brown rice is a rich source of folate, potassium, and B2. Brown rice is exceptionally high in manganese. For those with health issues like PCOS, thyroid, and diabetes, should try to include organic hand pound brown rice in their diet. Since this rice is unpolished brown rice, the bran is still there and we need to soak it for about 3 to 4 hours for better digestion and also to help release the phytic acid content in the rice. Phytates are nutrient inhibitors, hence soaking the rice for about 3 to 4 hours is ideal. So I'm going to allow it to soak for about 4 hours. It's about 4 hours now and the rice and urad dal are nicely soaked. So I'm going to rinse it a couple of times and then I'm going to add it into my blender jar. Once rinsed, I have added it into my blender jar and into that I'm adding in 1 cup of water. Add in pink Himalayan salt as needed and I'm going to blend this to a fine batter. And once blended, pour the blended batter into a bowl. If you have noticed, I did not use any cooked rice or poha when blending the batter. Cooked rice or poha helps with the fermentation process, but today I'm totally avoiding it. And now I'm going to mix this for about 2 to 3 minutes with my hand so that the wild yeast in my hand will help in the fermentation process. So I'm going to mix it with my hand for about 2 minutes. I'm squishing and squeezing it with my hand so that the wild yeast in my hand gets into the batter, and that will help the batter to ferment naturally. Now I'm doing this process at night so that I can get this ready for the next day's breakfast. And now I'm going to cover it and allow it to rest overnight or for about 8 to 10 hours and let it ferment naturally. Also note that I'm not using a tight lid as we need the wild airborne yeast to help with the fermentation process. So do not use a tight lid. And the next day morning, the batter has nicely fermented. You can see how perfectly the batter has fermented. Remember, I did not use any extra cooked rice or poha in this batter. And see how perfectly the batter has fermented. Fermented foods are a good source of vitamin B12. Hence, do try to include fermented foods in your diet. So the best way to include naturally fermented food in your diet is through dosa and idli. So do try to include naturally fermented foods like dosa and idli in your diet. You can see how perfectly the batter has fermented. Now you can make idli with this batter. You will get soft, spongy idlis. But today I'm just showing you how to make dosa with this batter. Now to make dosa, I'm heating my cast iron tawa and I'm greasing it with wood pressed gingerly oil. Gingerly oil is also known as til oil or sesame oil. Reduce the flame to the lowest and pour in 1 to 1.5 ladle full of the fermented brown rice dosa batter. and lightly spread it out. Just a little bit of desi ghee. Now if you are a vegan, you can use any wood pressed oil of your choice instead of desi ghee. Cover and allow it to cook for about 1 to 1.5 minutes. After about 1.5 minutes, open the lid and remove it to a plate. There is no need to turn it over because we covered it with the lid. The top portion also is cooked. Transfer to a plate. And my super healthy, soft, spongy brown rice dosha is ready to serve. You can enjoy this dosha with sambar or any chutney of your choice. So guys, do try this healthy brown rice dosha recipe and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.